Alright, today I'll be talking about self-disclosure and how we use it in our everyday lives. Now the question is, how do you explain self-disclosure? Self-disclosure is when a person talks to one another about their life. However, not everything we talk about is considered self-disclosure. The definition from my textbook, Interpersonal Communications by Carrie Floyd, is when you deliberately share information that is true about oneself and that you are comfortable sharing the information with. To go into more detail, I'm going to go over 3 variations of self-disclosure: social penetration theory, breadth, and depth. Now, what is social penetration theory? This theory was developed by 2 social psychologists, Erwin Altman and Thomas Taylor. The definition that they came up with was, as relationships develop, communication increases breadth and depth. And then on my source from communicationstudies.com, theory is like peeling an onion. The outer layer represents the physical aspects of a person, such as the appearance and how they speak, their mannerism, and everything else that you see just by looking at them. Now, the inner layers, as you dig deeper, is the more intimate the info gets, such as thoughts, feelings, politics, etc. And then the digging deeper into the layers is 5 steps. What's wrong with you? The first stage is orientation stage, which is the small talk, the outer layer of the onion. The small talk, observe appearances, the way they speak. And then it moves on to the second stage as the exploratory affective stage. Both people open up a little more with each other, share interests, politics, but nothing personal is disclosed. This is the most common stage for friendships. The third stage is the affective stage. Both people feel comfortable enough to disclose private matters. And then they also feel comfortable enough to argue about the other person's point. This is normally associated with romantic relationships. The fourth stage is the stable stage. Both people are completely open and comfortable with one another, and they can also predict how other people will react to their information that they tell. And then the fifth stage is deep penetration, with one or both people feel the cost of It's when one or both people feel the cost of self-disclosure outweighs its benefits. This stage is normally the end of everyone's relationship. These stages start linear, but then can easily become cyclical, which brings us into the topic of breadth, which is B-R-E-A-D-T-H, not like breath. Now, the definition of breadth is the range of topics about which one person self-discloses to one another. It is a pretty simple concept, and is often explained with the social penetration theory along with depth. I used OregonState.edu as another resource on how to explain breadth and depth and this whole theory. Everyone is different, meaning that your breadth with everyone is going to be different depending on the person you talk to. You may talk about the same things with certain people, but you may not go into the same depth with everyone. Which brings us to our third topic, depth, which goes hand in hand with breadth. Pretty much means how far or deep in a topic do you go in with each person. It's a matter of what topic you talk about and how comfortable it is for you to talk more deeply to that person. Normally, your breadth range is within the topics that you're more willing to go into depth with. Other topics you don't really try to talk about unless it is brought up by the other person. In conclusion, I thought this topic was interesting because we experience this every day, and I never knew or heard of social penetration theory, breadth, or depth. But now that I have researched it and understand it, and researched it and shared it with you guys, let's take some time and actually think about who we talk about and what breadth we use, the variety of topics, and how deep we go with each other. Thank you guys, and this is my self-disclosure presentation. You can hit the end button.